Tonight on News Prime, National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecoms betting services. In business, Dangote Refinery imports seeking annulment of import licenses to Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited others. On the foreign scene, China releases guideline for obesity diagnosis treatments. And in sports, Everton targets Chukwueze for January transfer. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Akofewe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on national channels. Tonight we'll begin by telling you, despite previous exemption of the telecom sector from the 5% excise duty approved by former President Muhammadu Buhari, the National Assembly has revived the push for its implementation. The National Assembly has proposed a 5% excise duty on telecommunications services, gaming, betting and lottery activities in the country. On July 6, 2023, President Bola Tinubu had signed 4 executive orders, one of which suspended the 5% excise tax on telecommunication services to mitigate the adverse impacts of tax increases on businesses and households. However, an executive bill titled Nigeria Tax Bill 2024 now seeks to reintroduce this excise duty. The Defense Headquarters of Nigeria has launched Operation Fansa Yama in the northwest region of the country to address the escalating banditry in the area. The Theater Commander Joint Task Force Northwest's Operation Fansa Yama, Major General Oluyinka Shoyele, stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to the Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal at the government house in Gusau, the state capital. Queen Agaba has details for us.
The Theater Commander, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fasanyama, Major General Oluyinka Shoyele, says more troops will be deployed to offensive bandit enclaves. He says the move is aimed at restoring peace and security to the region, which has been plagued by violent attacks and kidnappings for several years.
We are much more than ready and to take the battle to them. We are not waiting for them to come to the roadside or to do all these legal activities, abduction, kidnapping and the rest. We are taking the war to them. It's either they surrender or they die. Already we are making efforts to reach out to the local communities and as in some of the villages. We are trying to let them know that it is only by giving us adequate vision, by supporting us, that we'll be able to overcome this menace of.
The Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal pledged to give all the necessary support for troops to succeed in their operations. He says security is the responsibility of all, hence the need for all to support troops.
Remember when the Chief of Defense Staff some few weeks ago was here, and he made mention of the fact that there's going to be a new theater commander that will be responsible for this region to take care of some of the security challenges we're facing, especially in Zamfara. And I'm happy to say that he has resumed and he's here and we discuss issues. Of course, it's not something that we're going to tell the press because it's a security matter.
The establishment of Operation Fasanyama in northwest Nigeria has sparked optimism among many that banditry in the region will soon be eradicated. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Thank you, Queen. The federal government has reiterated its commitment to protecting the nation's judiciary from all forms of manipulation and inducement. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, made this declaration in Abuja during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of judges' quarters in the Katampe district. The quarters will feature 40 houses designated for various categories of judges and is expected to be completed within 15 months. Wike emphasized President Bola Tinubu's administration's commitment to improving judges' living conditions, stating that the independence of the judiciary is a top priority for the government. A bill seeking to prohibit gas flaring in Nigeria, ensure compliance with international standards and promote environmental sustainability may be listed for a second reading on the floor of the House of Representatives next week. The bill, sponsored by Babajimi Benson, seeks to encourage the utilization of natural gas resources to promote economic growth and reduce carbon emissions. Recall that the federal government had in 2022 launched the Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program, an ambitious step aimed at achieving zero routine flaring within a decade. The government also ratified the Paris Climate Change Agreement and is now a signatory to the Global Gas Flaring Reduction Partnership Principles for Global Flare-outs by 2020, while committing to a national flare-out target by 2025. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has thrown his weight behind Ondo State Governor and the governorship candidates of the party in the state's November 16 governorship poll. At the APC Southwest Governors Forum meeting in Akure, the chairman urged all political leaders of the states to work in unity. Minister of Defense Mohammed Badaru has stated that the federal government is committed to resolving former herder clashes in Plateau State. Badaru, who spoke in Jos, the state capital, during a meeting with opinion leaders, traditional rulers, and security agencies in Bassa local government area of the state, expressed concerns over the ongoing violence despite efforts to address the issue. He emphasized that the petitioning communities along ethnic or religious lines would be disastrous, vowing that the government would not entertain such demands. He further stressed the importance of living together in harmony. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo says deficit of leadership is a major challenge confronting the world, including Africa. Obasanjo made the assertion at the 11th African Biblical Leadership Initiative 2024 conference organized by the Bible Society of various countries across the world, hosted by Nigeria in Abuja. The former president challenged world leaders, including those in Africa and Nigeria in particular, to lead with fear of God to overcome the present challenges. The Defense Headquarters has dispelled reports that it appointed a senior officer as the acting Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who had been on leave and out of the country since September, fueled speculations about his health. Refuting these reports in a statement, Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukara Gusau, says there is no provision for an acting Chief of Army Staff in the Armed Forces of Nigeria. The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, has alerted members of the public to desist from patronizing uncertified compressed natural gas, CNG centers, in order to safeguard their lives and properties. The agency's Director General, Dr. Ifeanyi Okeke, in a statement signed by Folusho Bolaji, the Director of Public Relations Directorate, says the public warning became inevitable following the recent explosion at the NIPCO CNG refueling station in Benin City, Edo State. Dr. Okeke commiserated with those affected by the incident, stating that the agency would not tolerate any attempt to circumvent the laid-out standards, guidelines, and procedures for the CNG conversion initiative. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has affirmed it severally raided the personal house of Senator representing Kwara South, architect Lola Ashiru, as a drug joint for illicit drug dealers and users in Ilorin, Kwara State. The agency alleged that the recent attack of compromise and corruption against it by the lawmaker were born out of vendetta and malice rather than based on national interest. Following the failure of the lawmaker after 1 week to clarify his position on a weighty allegation made against the anti-narcotic agency, the NDLEA now says it was left with no option but to come out to set the record straight for the benefit of other distinguished members of the Senate, its local and international partners, as well as the public. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo has sworn in newly elected chairman and vice chairman of the 21 local government areas in the state. The governor, who presided over the swearing-in ceremony at the banquet hall of the government house, Lokoja, the state capital, charged the chairman and their vice to be dedicated in serving the people they represent. He further urged them to sustain the tempo of development at the grassroots by embarking on projects and programs that will improve the lives of the people as well as ensure security of lives and property. The governor added that they should key into signature programs of his administration in the areas of health, agriculture, social welfare, and empowerment initiatives to transform the lives of the people in their respective local government areas. Let's turn to Nigeria's northeast now, where Yobe State Police Command says it has apprehended 54 years old Hamsatu Modu of Morami village in Jakana, Kondugwa local government area of the state with 350 rounds of ammunition. This was contained in a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim. According to the statement, the suspect was arrested by the police operatives A Division Police Headquarters in Damaturu, the state capital, and is currently undergoing interrogation as investigators work to unravel the criminal network and motives behind their trafficking. The Commissioner of Police, CP Garba Ahmed, reaffirmed the command's commitment to combating crime and urged community members to sustain their cooperation with security agencies. You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime on Global Television, coming to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns tonight, Dangote Refinery in court seeking annulment of import licenses to Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and others. We have those details and more stories for you behind this short break. You stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agumofwebe. We appreciate you for your time with us. Time to talk about business now. Dangote Refinery has approached the Abuja division of the Federal High Court seeking to annul the import licenses granted to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and other players in the sector. Dangote in the petition informed the court that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the other companies obtained the license to import petroleum products despite the production of automotive, gas oil, and Jet A that exceeds the current daily consumption of petroleum products in the country by the Dangote Refinery. And the Dangote Refinery's case also seeks 100 billion naira in damages from the Nigerian midstream and downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA. And now to the power sector, where the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has fixed October 24 to conduct an investigative public hearing to address the incessant grid collapses. The Commission, on its Twitter handle, says that the hearing would hold at its hearing room, 4th floor, cadastral zone in Abuja. According to the agency, the Commission is mandated to conduct a public hearing on critical issues relating to the Nigeria electricity supply industry. No fewer than 4 vessels carrying imported premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, arrived at seaports situated along the nation's borders between Friday, October 18 and Sunday, October 20. According to a document obtained from the Nigerian Port Authority, about 123.4 million liters of premium motor spirits were berthed at 2 seaports to improve fuel supply nationwide. Reports say the oil dealers intend to import the commodity to supplement the supply from the $20 billion Dangote Petroleum Company Limited. On the foreign scene, China's National Health Commission has released its first set of guidelines to standardize the diagnosis and treatment of obesity. According to the guidelines issued by the Commission, over the past years, the country has witnessed an upward trend in the morbidity rates of its overweight and obese population. As an independent disease and a major causative factor for multiple chronic diseases, obesity has become a major public health issue in the South Asia country. Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko is calling on voters to give his PASTEF party an overwhelming majority in the West African nation's November 17 legislative elections to realize he and the president's plans to transform the nation. The Prime Minister told supporters at a pre-election rally in the capital, Dakar, that President Bassirou Diomaye Faye needs the electoral victory if he is to implement his policies. A search and rescue mission has been launched after a multi-story building collapsed in Kahawa West area, Nairobi. Police say they are not certain if there were people trapped under the rubble at the incident. Locals had detected the weakness in the building and had mobilized the residents to evacuate. They also took videos of the 7-story tumbling. And now time to talk some sports with some excitement. English club Everton have identified Samuel Chukwueze as their targets in the winter transfer window. This comes some days after it was reported that the AC Milan would become loan or outright sale offers for Chukwueze in January 2025. Everton have been monitoring the Nigerian international for some time and are poised to bringing him to the Goodison Park. Upon joining the Italian club last summer, the 25-year-old is yet to hit the ground running. However, he has increased his goal tally to 4 since joining the club after scoring the only goal that secured a victory for his side against Udinese in the Serie A at San Siro. Erik ten Hag says he is relishing this week's Europa League showdown with Jose Mourinho, calling the former Manchester United boss an example for many managers. United head to Istanbul this week to take on Fenerbahce, which means a reunion with Mourinho, who joined the Turkish club in June following his sacking by Roma. The Portuguese is one of the most decorated managers in history. While he proved a divisive figure at United during his tenure from 2016 to 2018, he won the League Cup and Europa League. Boniface posted a video of the damaged car on his Instagram stories. Galatasaray were amazed by Victor Osimhen's bicycle kick goal in Saturday's 3-0 win at Antalyaspor, with the Turkish champions describing the effort as more than a photograph but a work of art. The Nigerian striker delivered a spectacular effort that will stay unforgettable in the annals of global football to round off the scoring for the visitors 2 minutes into added time in the Super League game Week 9 encounter at Codnon Airlines Park, Antalya. As we end the News Prime tonight on Global Television, let's take a quick look at some of our big stories for you. President Tinubu has resumed office 2 weeks after his leave. China has said that it has released guidelines for obesity diagnosis and treatment. And finally, we told you Everton says it is now targeting Chukwueze for its January transfer. And that's it on News Prime, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Just a quick reminder to our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air all night comes out. You can also follow us across all our social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyag Mofwege on behalf of the entire production team here at Global Television headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you again.